Welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria, and in today's video I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into my personal songwriting process. If you've watched this channel before, you'll know that this bookshelf is usually full, but as I said in my last video, I'm actually in the process of moving. You can see I'm filming these videos back to back because I'm also wearing the same thing. We're getting there, but you know, these things take time and chaos. So anyways, in today's video, I wanted to give you a little bit of insight into how I write songs. So I don't have like a specific process, but I do have a bunch of voice memos. So I'm gonna take you through from beginning to end how I wrote Firestarter. So typically when I am starting writing a song, I very rarely sit down to actually write. Like this isn't like a organized, as you can see, I'm not very organized. This isn't really a process where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write a song about Aylin. Or if it's like a song about my own life, I'm not like, I'm gonna sit down and write a song about how I feel about this person. Normally what happens is I'm just living my life and then something will pop into my head. So for the purposes of this video, since we're talking about Firestarter, it is a bookish song. So with bookish songs, usually I'm reading the book, and as I'm reading, I start to maybe hear a line or a hook in my head that I feel like would relate to that specific character. In the case of Firestarter, one of the first lines that popped into my head was from the bridge. "I'll burn your castles down, it helps me sleep. The ashes turn to dust beneath my feet." Now, that has been tweaked from what was initially in my head. I can't even remember now, but I remember the second half being a lot messier. But from there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna write an Aylin theme for Kingdom of Ash about her kind of fire powers, but also how she's a little bit dangerous and like thrives on the danger, and how can I link that to fire? So that started me thinking about the chorus and about how, you know, fire is something to be feared and darkness is often something to be feared, and there's a lot of themes of light and dark in this book, and so I wanted to link that to her love of danger. And so thinking about how if you have this fire power or this power of light and you love danger, the dark would never really scare you. So you can kind of a vibe of like, send all you have, like I live for this kind of battle. So that was where the initial idea started. So I got out my guitar and started messing around with a few lines from Kingdom of Ash or from the series as a whole, such as Heir of Ash, Queen of Flames, this kind of thing, and kind of had this tune in my head that was gonna be like na 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 na, with like a walking bass, like boom boom boom. That makes no sense. But anyway, so this first clip I'm gonna show you is the first voice memo that I sang into. Now all of these are really bad, okay, because they're just like notes to myself for later. They're not like, here's a proper thing. This is just like, this is what I'm messing around with. So the first one you'll hear is the chorus. You'll notice some of the lyrics are different, and also some of the lyrics are missing because this was just the first kind of initial idea that popped into my head.
Baby, I'm a fire starter, push me, I'll push back harder, never was afraid of getting burned. Oh, da 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 da. Da 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 da, this is my rebirth, it's my return. Firestarter, Firestarter.
So that was the first clip, first kind of idea. From there, I kept reading the book and kind of waiting for more ideas to percolate. So you'll hear in the next clip, I started working on the verse. The imagery is very dark, and so you can see, I'll explain after what I changed, but this is the next development in my songwriting process when I was like, okay, I like this melody and this concept for the chorus, but now I need to work on the verse that's going to lead into it. When I'm writing a verse, I really like to kind of tell a story, so have a progression. For me, each chorus needs to flow naturally from the verse, and each verse should give you a new perspective on the chorus. So the chorus works for every verse kind of as announcing the theme of the verses, but the verses should also see a progression to help you understand the chorus in a new light.
You can bind my wrist, beat my body, break my fingers, lock me away, or whatever. There's a fire, my veins are burning, a single spark, and I was never afraid of the dark. Baby, I'm a fire starter, push me, I'll push back harder, never was afraid of getting burned.
So this was me just kind of messing around, humming to myself, singing to myself, trying out a few lines. I don't think anything was written down at this point. It was just me tossing some lines and ideas out there that I thought would fit with Aylin's story and also what I wrote for the chorus. You'll also see there that the tempo of the chorus is very different from the tempo of the verse. This is because I hadn't actually figured out how it would work yet once you set it to a drum beat. So you'll also hear that in the next version, but I basically like had a very slow verse and then like double speed for the chorus. That did not work when I actually started trying to set it to music, and I decided I liked the slow slinky vibe better, so I went with the tempo of the verses. You'll also notice those lyrics are very dark. So I was messing around with that idea, but I decided like the graphic imagery of like break my fingers or whatever was just like a little much. We don't need to like have actual torture in our verses. Plus, I wanted this song to be inspiring and kind of like an anthem for Aylin. So I wanted it to be like gritty, but also a little more uplifting rather than just like twisted and sad. So the next clip you're gonna see is once I started setting it to music. So I'd had the guitar a little bit when I was kind of thinking of these melodies, but I was still just tossing ideas and wasn't really sure where I was going with it. So the next step was I tried to set it to music. So this next clip you'll see is me messing around with the chords.
Lock me up, throw away the key. Beat me down, I'll never scream or watch me bleed something. My veins are still burning a single spark, and I was never afraid of the dark. I light it up.
So you can also see that I wasn't entirely sure of what key it would be in, because when you're just singing a cappella and coming up with stuff, at least for me, like sometimes it's hard to tell what key I'm doing, and like I changed the tempo, I also changed the key, because as you can hear in the original, like the verses are quite low and the chorus is quite high, or like I do an octave gap, so I do like a low version and a octave higher in the chorus. I like the octave gap. I feel like it adds quite an eerie vibe, but before I realized that was what was gonna happen if I sang the verse in the key that I wrote it, I kept jumping to like a middle point where I would sing the chorus initially, because I was like, oh, it's gonna be like this key, but then I was like, once I started putting it to music, I was like, this makes no sense, I'm changing the key midway through. So that's what that little off key bit was. So this next one is kind of the same thing, but a few hours later from my writing session when I started to figure out what the chords would actually be.
Lock me up, throw away the key. Watch me bleed. My veins are still burning a single spark, and I was never afraid of the dark. I light it up. Baby, I'm a fire starter. Push me, I push back harder. Never was afraid of getting burned. Air of ash, the clean flames. You'll know my fury, know my name, 'cause this is my rebirth, it's my return. Firestarter, 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 Firestarter.
So you can see from there that I had developed it quite a bit to what the final version would be. Obviously I used piano because I feel like it sounds a little more epic than acoustic guitar. But yeah, the next clip you're gonna see is actually from my Kingdom of Ash reading vlog, because halfway through reading that book, I suddenly had a brainwave for the full kind of verse, chorus, bridge. I didn't have a second verse yet, but this was like when it was almost done. So I did a little recording in my vlog, which some of you are familiar with. Some of you have informed me you liked that version better than the final version. You're gonna see that clip here, which is when it's almost finished. Some of the lyrics are still different, and obviously I still had not figured out the tempo thing with no drum beat, so I massively jump speed when I get to the chorus. Oh, you'll also notice that little ooh thing. Not like that, but I cut that out of the final version as well, because I felt like it was more powerful to just go into the like, I light it up, baby, you know? So here you go. Here's the video. Even just holding this book in my hand made me inspired to write a song. And so this morning I came up with like a bridge to it. So you can just have a little work in progress sneak peek during this vlog. People have been asking me, do videos of your process? And I'm like, I don't really have a process. The things just come into my head. So I'll just play you what I have so far. But yeah, this is an Aylin theme inspired by the whole series, but also this book. The Case of Mourning Boys, so it might not be the greatest, but you know, here we are. Lock me up, throw away the key. Beat me down and watch me bleed. My veins are still burning a single spark, but I was never afraid of the dark. Oh, I light it up, baby, I'm a fire starter. Push me, I'll push back harder. Never was afraid of getting burned. Air of ash, the queen of flames. You'll know my fury, know my name, 'cause this is my rebirth, it's my return. Fire starter, fire starter, fire starter, fire starter. Just casually messed up the guitar chords. I burn your castles down, it helps me sleep. The ashes turn to dust beneath my feet. A creature made of sun trapped under stars, but I was never afraid of the dark. I light it up, baby, I'm a fire starter. Push me, I'll push back harder. Never was afraid of getting burned. Oh, air of ash, the queen of flames. You'll know my fury, know my name, 'cause this is my rebirth, it's my return. Fire starter, fire starter, fire starter, fire starter, fire starter. Welcome to Morning Voice, people. So there you have it. That was almost done. So from there, all I had to do was write a second verse and then come up with the production. So from there, I started messing around on the piano, getting the final chords, and then thinking about the rhythm I wanted. Again, I wanted that kind of like slinky, sultry, dangerous vibe, which I feel like is very Aylin. So that is how we ended up with the slower tempo and the drum beat that I picked, and then it was just a case of like messing around with strings and synths and stuff to kind of give it that vibe that it has. So I'll play a little clip of the final one, which I'm sure you all know. And if you want to check out the full song, obviously a link below, and it's also now on Spotify and iTunes and all those things, so be sure to download, check it out. And yeah, this is the final version.
Me up, throw away the key. Beat me down and watch me bleed. My veins are still burning a single spark, and I was never afraid of the dark. I light it up, baby, I'm a fire starter. Push me, I'll push back harder. Never was afraid of getting burned. Air of ash, the queen of flames. You'll know my fury, know my name, 'cause this is my rebirth, it's my return. Fire starter, fire starter, fire starter, fire starter.
There you have it. Thank you so much for checking out this little insight into my songwriting process. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the full version either by following the link to the YouTube video or by downloading it or streaming it on any streaming platform. It should be on all of them. That is all I have for this video. I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.